Hey, 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 fourth grade. We are going to continue learning about electricity and we're going to learn more specifically about electrical circuits. So, electricity is actually just a form of energy. So, we're talking about different forms of energy and we're going to go more in depth on electricity. How does electricity work? A major storm strikes the area and strong winds knock down power lines. Oh no, the power's out. The lights suddenly turn off. The television, computer, refrigerator stop working. How do fallen power lines prevent electricity from getting to your home or school? So, we're going to learn what electricity is and what it has to do with power lines and how it can actually go out just because a power line fell down.
Imagine this. What if all the lights in your home suddenly went out and your radio stopped playing and your television went blank? What if cars couldn't start and washing machines couldn't wash clothes and hair dryers couldn't dry hair? This was the way life used to be. Instead of electric lights, people lit their homes with candles or kerosene lamps. Instead of using washing machines, they washed their clothes by hand. Instead of cars, there were horses and buggies. Instead of television and radio, people depended on reading and other ways to entertain and inform themselves. In many ways, electricity has changed the way people live.
So, that video showed us that before electricity was invented, people hadn't really learned how to take energy and actually use it. The energy has always been out in nature, but we hadn't figured out how to harness it and make it work for us. So now we're going to figure out what electricity is and how we were able to figure out what it was and what we could do with it. Most homes receive electricity from power lines. How do you think these power lines help to provide homes and other buildings with electricity? When a power line falls in a storm, why does electricity stop working? Not all electrical devices are connected to wires in a building. When the power goes out, what kind of devices can you use? What makes them work? In this concept, we're going to explore how electric circuits allow us to use electricity. You'll also build your own electrical circuits. So we're thinking about how there's different types of electricity. When the power goes out, there are only certain devices that stop working. And if you think about it, we have different ways that we get electricity, either through a battery that would create power and through outlets. So which one of those things goes out when power goes out? Which would be when a storm happens and the power lines fall.
Electricity is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Today, because of scientific research, people are able to generate and control electrical energy for all kinds of purposes. It provides the heat to make stoves hot and make light bulbs glow. Electricity generates a picture on a television and sound in a radio. Electrical power makes our computers run. It gives us the ability to communicate and to travel. Electricity makes our lives better in the real world.
All right, we're going to be figuring out what electricity is. Why do all these things work and why do we need them? So let's think about what we already know about electrical circuits. The first question is select the correct word to complete the sentence. Electricity is a kind of what? Is it a type of matter? Is it an energy? Or is it a force? That's right, it's an energy. We have lots of different types of energy that can transfer to other forms of energy, and electricity is a type of energy. Does it work? Congratulations, you have a good idea about electricity. All right, electrical circuits. How does electricity flow through wires in a circuit? So we haven't learned that yet. So I want you to think about what you already know. And we probably know that electricity goes through cords and wires, in some aspect. We just don't know what that really means. So electricity flows through wires from the outlet into different devices or appliances. So at this point, that's really all we know. Electricity is an energy that flows through the wires that go out of the outlet and into different devices or appliances. So we don't really know much more about it than that, but we're going to learn more about it in the next couple days. On Friday, you guys watched a video of an Australian man and his son talking about conductors and insulators. You might remember more as conductor and insulator. So they just had a different accent on it. But we know that conductors allow electricity to flow through them, and insulators do not. The electricity stops. So is metal a conductor or an insulator? Yep, it's a conductor. Metal is one of the main conductors. So different types of metals. That's why all of our wires are made of metal, is because they're a really basic conductor. What about plastic? Can electricity flow through plastic or not? That's right, it can't. What about glass? Is glass a conductor or an insulator? Yep, glass is an insulator. It stops the electric flow. What about rubber? If you think about wires, they're always coated in some sort of plastic or rubber to make sure that you don't get shocked, because it stops the flow from reaching your fingers. What about cloth? Can electricity flow through cloth? No, it can't. I hope I'm right on these. I think that maybe we've got a couple more. What about salt water? If there's a storm outside and there's lightning, are you allowed to swim or not? You're not allowed to swim because it's a conductor and the electricity would then shock you because the current can go through the salt water. What about wood? Is wood an insulator or a conductor? It is an insulator. Very good. Let's see if I got glass right. That's the only one I'm not 100% about. Yay, we got it right. Congratulations. We've got a good idea about conductors and insulators. Good work, guys. So tomorrow we're going to learn more about what a circuit actually is and what's happening inside of it. Now that you've completed watching our video and our lesson today, I would like for you to do the next step on your to-do list, which is a simulator. So since we aren't at school, we can't actually test insulators and conductors with real circuits. But I was able to find a simulation for you. Actually, Mrs. Royer found it. So if you click on the link, it gives you a couple different, it says interactive simulations, and it gives you different numbers with basic concepts on it. So if you go down to lesson number 6, it says electrical conductors and insulators. When you click on that tab or that lesson, it's going to give you a circuit which has a battery and different wires clipped to it with a light. So we have a power source and we have the light to let us know if the current is flowing. So if the current is flowing, the light's going to turn on. So you are going to take the different objects that the simulation has. There's different types of metal. There's a pencil, a pen, some rulers, some different types of water. And you're going to clip them into the circuit, which makes a complete circuit. It's a closed circuit when it makes a circle. And if it lights up, then you know that that object is a conductor. If it doesn't light up, then it means that it's an insulator because it stopped the flow of electricity. So I want you to go through and play with the simulation and see if you like it. We're going to do a simulation pretty often in science for a couple days. So I hope that you like it. Just do the one that I recommended, and then I'll tell you which ones to do as we keep going. Good job today. I'll talk to you on Wednesday.